cage, 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the featherweight division. This bout is sponsored in part by MMA Cage Canvas. Once again, our referee in charge of this bout, Michael Bell. And now, introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks. He is training out of Teen Ironman MMA, Riverside, California. He weighed 137 pounds. His record, 1 win, 1 loss. With that win coming by way of stoppage, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Sanfez, the Crippler Khan. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing teal trunks trimmed in black. He is training out of TDS, San Diego, California. He weighed 137 pounds. His record, 2 wins, 3 losses, with 1 win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Julian the King Hanna. All right, fans, here we go. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the featherweight division.
All right, John. Both these guys pretty anxious to get straight to the action here.
I'm curious to see Khan's wrestling. Here we go, underway. Khan in the blue gloves. Hanna in the red.
Already with this front headlock, John.
Yep. Head and arm, looking to throw some knees. Khan just looking to body lock.
Well, this is what you might expect for somebody who has on their Instagram profile, wrestling is life. So you do get that impression here. I think he's looking to finish this takedown, even with his head being slightly compromised.
Yeah, he is not giving any respect to this. Maybe look for him. He's just going to lift.
Yeah,
right
he just
here.
wants to body slam this dude. He wants to hold and get that nice little Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant body slam here.
He's got to watch out because if this guillotine turns into a high elbow guillotine, this is absolutely finishable. But it is easy to launch your opponent if they're trying to finish standing. So here's to see. He's going for a head outside single. Look for him to turn it into a double if he can get him away from the cage. No, he's going to step in and put him down. Very nicely done. Good inside trip. Has to get his head free. Only 1 arm in there, so he should be able to hand fight this and just pull his head out. Still not a great position. If there's a strong chin strap, there is a 1-arm finish from here, but it's just you rarely see it.
Yeah.
And it looks like he was doing some good hand fighting right away. So now Hanna looking for a triangle, trying to get his shin and his foot in front of that biceps of Khan.
Just not cool.
Bunched up against the cage.
Yeah, I was
like
about to say, when you don't have that angle and you're getting pushed into the cage, it just seems to work against you. But I'll tell you this, not for nothing, he is not quitting on this. It seems like a puzzle he is very aggressively trying to figure out.
Yeah, and I really didn't like that response from Khan where he went to, it looks like it's
stay heavy, you're good, bro. You're winning this round.
Yes, very nicely for the dignity of all of us involved. Let's just,
stand him up.
Yeah, bud. Well, I guess we are standing back up. I thought we were just going to reset the pants there for a split second. But no, we want to see some action.
Yeah, I really did not like, Khan went for like a tight waist in the close guard, which is just, that opens you up to omoplatas and arm bars and triangles. It's just risky. You have to be extremely good from there against submissions, not just wrestling. Because it opens you up to a lot. Here we got double unders from Khan. See what he can do with this. He had a lovely inside trip before he ended. That looks like that's what he's going to try to do to pull Hanna away from the cage. I'm not sure he's enough time to finish this one. Yeah, they're just going to get right there.
However, that is some good inside intel, though. When you get put with those double unders, those knees may play a different factor in the next round or so, because once you get that idea, you're like, oh, I should be kneeing you from here. Oh, thanks. I'll use that the next time, because more than likely you're going to shoot it on me.
All right, here we go, round number 2. Hannah right away, throw heavy, and on also chasing the takedown. Gets in, ends up in this kind of no man's land position where he's in between closing the distance and running away, and that's a terrible place to be if you're trying to avoid strikes.
Can't ankle pick somebody if somebody's making sure their ankle is very far away from you, John.
Yes, that's true. And here Hannah ends up on top, so despite the wrestling attempts from Khan, winds up on bottom. And look at that. Is that a bruise? What is that on?
It's hard to say. I haven't quite figured it out, but it did look like he very quickly took a lot of, maybe it's the kicks, but maybe he came in like this and we just didn't notice.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
Oh, nice. He is definitely, it's from the cage is what I believe we're hearing. However, what's really nice is he utilized the opportunities right there. He is putting some damage right now.
Yeah, really good ground and pound. You rarely see this, especially against someone that's so wrestle heavy like Khan.
Well, not only does it create problems, but it decreases the output from Khan. You don't see him shooting in as effectively anymore. Now when he does, you're able to stuff it a little bit better.
Yeah, and he's a little demoralized too. He's not doing reshots the way he was before. Here he goes. Now he's got his arms connected. Now he should, he turns this right over into a takedown. And, oh man, Hannah should have been a little bit more defensive there instead of focusing on the strikes in that moment.
Have to say, it sounded like, or it looked like Khan heard what we said about him and said, oh no, I'll get this takedown.
I mean, as soon as he locked the hands around that single leg, he put Hannah right over on his back.
Now, the question is, if you get to here, what are you going to do with it? So is it going to be a pressure-filled area, or can you get to that mount position and start kind of raining down punches? Because this is your opportunity to equalize things. And you still have another round where you need to exhaust that opponent and kind of punish them for basically making that kind of a mistake.
Yeah, here he is. He's stuck in this cross-side guillotine, basically. I mean, they're in the half guard, but it's the equivalent of being cross-side. Because it's to that far side. Would love to, again, see that Von Flue choke threatened here. It just makes it easier to get your head out, if anything, and you might get a finish out of it.
Yeah.
Does try to get control over this far arm and uses that to move over into mount. So nicely done from Khan. And Hannah's in a lot of trouble, and you can see him grabbing the waist, trying to mitigate damage from the punches.
And maybe knows he is short on time as well. So as long as he can keep some damage from happening at the end of this round, he will survive to a third.
Yeah, don't love holding on like this from the bottom of mount, but if you got 10 seconds left to go, then you can make that happen.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can gather some more intel from what their corners are telling them in the short time that we get in break.
You gotta go, same shit. You scroll on the gas, bring him back up, and you hit him hard. You gotta go now. Third round. You got it. You hit our back. You got it. Keep moving. Bring him up the corner, back it out. Good? He didn't hit you hard. You hit him hard as fuck. Now knock his ass out. Now put him over back in the ring. Knock his ass out. Let's go. You got this. It's in our bag, bro. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
So if you're looking at it right now, it does sound like Hannah's corner was basically telling him, all gas, no brakes. Let's finish this out strong. And then conversely, you're looking over at Khan, and you probably have to imagine that maybe implement your wrestling a little bit sooner so that you can actually utilize that moment that you got to mount in that last round.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Khan in that second round. He started shooting some takedowns. They were getting stuffed. He wasn't reshooting. He was getting hit by a lot of strikes. Was able to finally lock his hands around the leg of Hannah and put Hannah on his back, and then he looked good from there. But it was not looking so great for him right up until that point. So curious to see how Hannah's going to adjust to this and if Khan's going to do anything different.
I like that. That was unusual. You don't necessarily see people all the time back up that aggressively to kind of pull you back in. And it almost looks like a wrestler pulling for half, but instead still finding their way to trying to finish this single. But the hands, they're stretched out, but it is definitely tough, and he does lose his mouthpiece as a result of it.
Yep. We might see, a nice switch to that double leg from Khan. That was really nicely done. He's going to able to put Hannah on his back and get on top here. They're both throwing just arm punches to the body for score.
I'm fairly sure at this point both corners are just yelling, keep punching.
Yeah, a little bit more than a minute and a half to go. Hannah could have a look at a guillotine from here, especially if he can get out to his side. Being flat on his back and with his head up against the cage, it's going to make that tough, though.
Well, it's probably going to help him pop his head out if he is even trying to, get those punches, those rabbit punches over on the side. You can't really grip that head as much. Even if you can't finish the guillotine, it's going to allow them to pop that head. And once that happens, you got to break down their posture all over again.
Yeah, and you can see Hannah looking to swim his arm to the inside. He wants inside control so that way he can grab an overhook and hip out to that direction. Not enough action, though, for the ref.
Sonny, be smart.
He's going to get stood up here.
Be fucking smart.
You don't love that, but, I mean, there was only a minute left to go. And
hey, put him on me. Sonny, bring him to me. Sonny, bring him to me. Sonny, yeah, Sonny.
Another shot.
Yep. Once he gets his hands connected, he's usually pretty good.
That was probably the best kind of reversal that you can hit.
Wow.
If you start punching them and getting those peppered in, you can potentially change the dynamic of that shot.
Yeah, Hannah ending up on top now, and Khan looked like he was just trying to squeeze the neck.
When all else fails, John.
I'm not sure exactly what he's going for there.
It is a form of breaking down the posture, so we could say that.
Yeah. I mean, he was making an overhook. He's trying for a head and arm choke from the bottom, or at least the control. Then maybe use a butterfly sweep to get on top. But
I mean, at this
point,
point,
he's just holding on to stop damage.
I think that was what he was going for. I think at a certain point he recognized, Hannah's got some hands on him, and the more that you let him into that realm, the more shots you're going to take. And I will say, I think that moment when he was kind of stuck in that side control or that half guard, and he absorbed some shots on the edge of the cage, I think you saw a little bit more tepid version of him. He wasn't quite in that same space, and I think he respected Hannah's power. I think he understood, man, I can't let him just keep shooting these shots on me. I've got to get back up. And from there, it was a little bit more of a cautious version.
Yeah, really curious to see how this one goes. See if the judges see how they score the takedown versus the shots versus the damage, the strikes.
Well, it looks like we are shortly waiting for the results, and it does look like we have them.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to our scorecards. We have our decision. Judge at cage side, Don Howard, scores about 29-28, while both judges cage side, Big Mark Reyes and Jackie Denkin, score about 30-27 in favor of our winner by unanimous decision, the red corner, Julia, the King Hannah!
And the King maintains the crown for yet another night.